Best Pet RX is a veterinary compounding pharmacy that compounds custom medicines for dogs, cats, birds, mammals, reptiles, and all other large and small species. The best thing about Best Pet RX is that they focus big on quality and customer service, with super fast delivery and next day service. Not only that, Best Pet RX services most states. If it walks, crawls, swims, or slithers, Best Pet RX can compound your pet's medication. Have a pet that just won't take their medications? Best Pet RX can formulate their medications to taste better with an endless list of flavors to make your pet's meds taste great. No one wants to watch their pets suffer because of slow delivery times or them not taking their meds due to the way it tastes. Best Pet RX solves those problems. Best Pet RX, increasing compliance, leading to better therapeutic outcomes. Visit them today at www.bestpetrx.com. What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 89 of the old Snakes and the Fatman there. I was talking with John a few months ago, and I said, listen, people love seeing all these animals for sale, but what about those dams and sires and holdbacks? Wouldn't it be great if breeders could show off their animals that are not for sale? NFS, bitches. This would be a great way to set them apart from every other fucking breeder out there. So, wouldn't you know it, because John treats me as the idea guy, Morph Market has added a new collections feature that does exactly this. And this is actually super easy to do. All you do is add animal sets to not for sale with public visibility. Prospective buyers can click a link on your store page to browse your entire collection, or at least the ones you want to make public. From that page, you could also click the share button to drive more traffic to your store page. Boom! Now, at first, Morph Market had some additional restrictions. And the reason that those restrictions were in place was because some people, none of my listeners of course, would use that feature to sell animals without paying the fucking membership. But I said, John, don't let these fucks ruin it for everybody else. So John actually listened to me for fucking once, and he relaxed those restrictions, and this feature is fully available to anyone with a basic membership or higher. All right, now the ad copy says, Now let's see those beautiful breeders. I'm not gonna say that. That's just a little too feminine for the old fat man to say. Let's see your fucking reptiles. Go check this new feature out at morphmarket.com. All right, listen to me. Herps has 2 shows left in the year. That's only 2 fucking times you have to see the best run show circuit in the fucking country. Let's see here. They're going to be in Austin, Texas, December 3rd and 4th. I'm thinking about going to the next Austin show. Not December 3rd and 4th, but in the new year. They're also going to be in Slidell, Louisiana, December 10th and 11th of 2022. Then that's it. They're done. They don't have a new fucking show until January 14th and 15th of the new year in Oklahoma City. Go check out herpshow.net. Fucking tell Sean and Lori Merry goddamn Christmas and fucking Happy Holidays and what a great job they're doing. herpshow.net. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the last official Snakes and a Fat Man episode of 2022. First of all, I want to thank all of you motherfuckers who watch and listen to this ridiculous dick and fart joke podcast. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I'm still amazed at the amount of people that join us every episode. And I'm still having a fucking blast doing it. I want to also thank my sponsors who were some of the biggest fucking players in the hobby. And you want to talk unbelievable, I can't believe that they're still showing up and showing support for the old fat man there. Last of all, I want to thank my Patreon people. The Patreon family is actually growing every fucking week. And I want to thank you for allowing me into your lives and fucking paying me to be there. The whole Patreon thing allows me to dump money back into the show and bring you better content. I mean, you know, if that's possible. I mean, some of you fucking hate my content. I get it. I get it. Fat man's not for everybody. I've said this before, and I'll say it again because it warrants repeating. All of your support means the world to me because in reality, at the end of the day, this is not a reptile show. It's a comedy show that reptile people choose to come on because we make it fun. If you want strictly a reptile show, there's about 100 other podcasts that you could watch. Hell, I could wake up out of a drunken stupor and still give you 30. This is a show where I want you to just come in, leave your shit at the door, laugh a little with some adult conversation, and just have a good fucking time. Now, might you learn something in the process? Yeah, sure, hopefully. But the goal of this show is to sit down with like-minded people and have some fun and make you laugh a little bit. I don't give a fuck if you learn anything or not. There's other shows for that. And that's what makes you guys and this show so incredible, is that you just show up and listen or watch a podcast that I like to think is still on the fringes of the reptile community. Now, that being said, on November 25th, we're dropping the All Hot Chick episode UK edition. We're going to talk to some of the best female UK breeders and discuss the issues that they face being in a male-dominated fucking hobby. And I'm curious to see if the issues they face are the same issues that the female breeders in America face. This is going to be a great show that I think is going to be interesting and fun as fuck to watch and listen to. And I want to thank Tom Wolf over at That Wolfie's Royals podcast for really setting this whole thing up and allowing me to just kind of show up and host it. And for all you haters and fucking feminazis and male feminists that just seem to come out of the woodwork every year when this episode comes out, I'd like to clear the air and just basically say, fuck you guys, okay? Fuck you up the ass. If you don't realize this by now, that this episode shines a light on the issues that women have in the hobby, I've been doing this for 3 fucking years. You're never gonna know it. We talk about serious shit, but we try to do it in a fun and interesting way. So for all you woke fucks who get offended that I love tits and ass and you require a safe space, you should probably go fuck yourself and skip this episode. Either that or pull the stick out of your ass and watch the episode and have a little fun and maybe just learn something in the process. I learned a long time ago that hanging around hotties make you look cooler than you actually are. Hanging around hotties that know more than most men in the hobby makes you look even cooler. Again, the All Hot Chick episode drops on November 25th. Lastly, I'm just checking my notes here, we're in the midst of the 2022 15 Minutes of Lane contest. Get on over to snakesandthefatman.com and vote for your favorite 15 Minutes of Lane contestant of the last year and help them win the title of Lamest of the Lame for the entire calendar year of 2023. You could vote every 24 hours until December 24th when voting ends. Some of these contestants are just crushing it on the campaign trail, and I can't thank them enough because they're actually making this whole thing fun, which is the way it should be. Again, voting is open until December 24th, with the winner being announced on the birthday of little baby Jesus on Christmas Day. Somebody's gonna get a pretty cool fucking Christmas present. The winner will kick off the first show of the year in the main spot of the show on January 1st, 2023. Again, head on over to snakesandthefatman.com and vote for your favorite or favorites. Could vote as many times as you want this year. I don't care. Fucking as many times as you want. Every 24 hours. snakesandthefatman.com. Go vote today. All right, everybody, get on board the Repta train. Why? Because it's the best coconut substrate on the fucking planet. So, really, don't be a Repta bitch. Be a Repta bro. Get your coconut substrate from the only fucking company owned by a goddamn legitimate American hero. Get your fucking coconut substrate from the only fucking company that gives back proactively to the reptile community in the form of Reptolution apparel. Get your coconut substrate from the only company that your reptiles love more than you do. I'm just gonna say it. If you don't use Repta Chip, you are a Repta communist. You are either with the Repta bros or with the Repta terrorists. No one wants to be a Repta terrorist. Be a Repta bro or a Repta hoe. We're not sexist here. Head on over to reptachip.com and pick yourself up a block, a bag, a bigger bag, or a shirt. I don't care what you do, just get on it. The ball python industry has never been more complex, but Clutch makes managing your collection simple. I gotta read this because Justin changed it on me. This brand new cloud-based web platform created by Canova allows you to create, search, and filter your ball python inventory with ease, visualize your projects with innovative analytics and insights, keep track of past, present, and future clutches with a virtual incubator, and connect every customer with the perfect animal using a robust waitlist system. Join the beta waitlist today at clutch.io, that's CLTCH.io, for a chance to test the product ahead of the official release, which is expected to be in December 2022. Get ready to discover the power of your collection whenever inspiration strikes. Clutch.io, CLTCH.io.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes and the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here, let's hear your ideas, let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, so bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Hello, everybody. Look who I got here. Fucking Shannon Lentz from Shanz, Amaze, Ballz.
Yep,
How are you, Shannon?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Well, you know how this works, okay? You're going to get 15 minutes on the clock, and we're going to start that right now.
All right.
And first of all, what's with the name, man? Where did the name come from?
Well, I was gonna do like Red Queen, something because that's always been my nickname. But I decided on Shan's Amaze Balls because a lot of the stuff that I'm kind of going towards, I feel, is pretty Amaze Balls, and I'm from the '80s, so you know.
I I'm from the 80s. I've never heard Amaze
No,
Balls.
I was born in the '80s. I wasn't like 30 in the
All
'80s
right, just fucking relax, okay? All right. Um, Amaze Balls. Why not Sans Amazing Balls?
because I mean the implications there are a little harsh.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. I give you a 5 on the name.
All right.
But I give you a 10 on showing off the boobs, number 1, and number 2, your 75 different stickers that you have with your fucking logo on it.
Yeah,
it-
coasters. I got freaking everything. Mugs,
yeah,
like
yeah, you definitely
I got the
got that
merch.
part nailed down. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
And you're pretty well known. You know, I mean, with the I don't want to say common guys, but with the regular ball python people
Yeah.
that are under $5,000 snakes.
Yeah.
You're well known and your group is fucking huge. Now, how long have you been doing this?
Breeding for about 3 years, but I've been interested since I was around 20 with ball pythons. I got out of it and then got back into it probably about 9 years ago. And I just decided honestly, the first person that I started with was Ryan Thomas, and it just kind of went to hell in a handbasket from there. Yeah,
But
I just started looking at everything that could be done with them, and I'm an animal person, so it just kind of collected from there. So yeah, I'm
eh,
around 300 right now. So
oh, gross. Okay.
yeah, I know.
So you started breeding about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I did all my research, had everything correct, raised my breeders. I only have 2, one female and one male that I didn't raise myself or that I'm not currently raising. I just felt like it was important for me to know life steps from the beginning all the way to the end and just kind of know what to do. I mean, you don't want to be worrying about incubation and pairing and all this stuff and have basic issues with a ball python and not know what you're doing.
All right, you're
So
adorable. Okay. Um, you're in like fucking South Dakota, right? Or fucking
no,
Utah?
central Utah, which is
Okay,
worse.
Mormon country, right?
Yes.
Are you just part of a harem or are you married?
Married, not a part of a harem.
Just
He's
one
a
guy then?
trucker, I'm a trucker, so he really isn't into ball pythons at all. Like he doesn't understand much, as far as my like for them. So he's pretty much all out of it. It's just me. So
Okay. And
yeah.
you have 300 fucking snakes.
Yeah. And I
And
work 60 hours a week, so
yeah.
I don't
You're
sleep
a
much.
you are a fucking hot trucker. I'll tell you that people are gonna be like a trucker. And you drive
Yeah.
the big shit, right?
hmm
Okay.
Yep, semi truck, and I was doing about 100 feet of trailer. It was a 48 and a 42 for quite a while. And then now I'm just back down to a 53, so it's nice only having one trailer, especially in the wintertime. So
And I can't even pull a U-Haul, so go you, you know. All right, so 300 snakes, 3 years doing it.
hmm
In the last 3 years, how much money did you dump into it?
couldn't tell you. I'm not in it. I
Come
don't
on. Yeah,
look at
yes,
it
you
for the
can.
money point. That's not
Stop.
really,
Stop.
it's not what
But
I'm
you know how
doing.
much you spent. Right.
I don't actually. I just make sure they're fed, make sure they have everything they need, and then Yeah,
All
I
right.
just work to support them. So,
What's your most expensive snake right now?
I got a discount on her, and she was 2,500.
Okay.
So,
And what snake is that?
killer lesser clown, female.
Okay.
And that was right around the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but about 2 years ago when clowns just really started
Right.
bombing. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, and are you a showgirl or no?
no.
No, it isn't.
Honestly, I kind of keep to myself other than social media. I like to try and help people and stuff, but I'm not really into going to the shows because I just don't usually have enough to vend or to justify going. And the biosecurity stuff is a huge thing for me. So I do not like going to expos unless I'm looking for something, going to see somebody, support somebody, something like that. It's just not, the risks to me aren't necessarily worth it for the collection that I have.
I can't even eye roll harder at that.
Hey,
I'm
but
gonna
there's our expos here in Utah are nothing like what you guys have, anywhere else. So
right. No, I get it. That's
yeah,
kind of be a
it's
shit place
usually
to have
pretty
it.
small.
I've never
So
even heard of an expo in Utah, so
yeah, they're really small.
the
So
fact that you have one. All right, but you do Morph Market.
yes, I have Morph Market. I'm rarely on TikTok, but I have TikTok, Facebook, of course, Instagram. Yeah,
All right.
Morph Market.
Okay,
So
well, how much have you made since you started this over the last 3 years?
not enough.
Yeah.
Nothing to justify paying for the cost of the collection. So totally honest, I couldn't tell you what I've made. It's mostly just been 200 here, 500 there, that kind of thing. It's not really, I've been holding back the bigger stuff. Like my first clutch was 2 pastel super gravels, a male and a female, 2 pastel highways, male and a female, and 2 pastel ivories. I only let one of them go, and I just kept the bigger stuff. I'm just working on getting the bigger stuff going and then letting the smaller stuff go and just kind of fine tuning what I have before I start going there.
Well, I think that you have to, you don't have to, you run this shit your way, but you gotta get an Excel sheet or something to
Oh, I've got
fucking
sheets.
justify cost and
Mm,
fucking expenses.
nah, not really.
Mm,
That's just, I don't really care about that part. That's not what I focus on. I have Excel spreadsheets, but they're just for genetics and planned pairings and stuff like that. So
mm.
I
All right.
know.
Well, let's talk some sponsors real quick.
All right.
Do you use Reptichip?
Oh, yes, absolutely. One of my good friends is Mike Eggleston. He's the rep for Utah and this part of, I think it's Utah, Wyoming, Arizona. So
Okay.
he got me into it, and that's all I use. So
So JT does not give you a fuck you.
good.
Have you ever drove down to a herp show?
No, I have not.
Ugh,
I
you
work
gotta
too
get
much.
on
I
that.
don't get time.
Man, Sean
So
Gray
I
gives you a
know. Big fuck
giant fuck
you.
you. Yeah.
I know.
Um, Now you don't only do balls, right?
No, I actually have Brazilian rainbow boa, jungle carpet, BCI, corn snakes, king snakes, let's see, milk snakes, Sumatran shorttail, a Borneo, and
So,
Kenyan sand boas. So I'm kind of all over the place with everything.
all right, relax. What my main question
I
is
don't
that
have any bibs. No,
have you ever bought a snake from Boa Affliction?
no,
No.
no.
Kenny's one of the nicest guys in the hobby, and he's just
Yeah,
standing there giving the giant boobed redhead girl a big
I
fucking middle
know.
finger.
I
Ah,
know.
okay. I know you have some sea serpents, racks, or incubators in the house, right?
Nope.
No.
No, I
Holy
know.
shit.
I'm slacking.
For the love of God, Chris Nettles gives you a giant fuck you. Do you have any focus cubed habitats in your house?
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. When my non-ball pythons get bigger is when I plan to start going in that direction. So
Okay. So Stephen and Ashley give you a potential fuck you, but once you
fair
buy
enough.
one, they'll give you a thumbs up. All right.
All right.
I saw your logo. It doesn't look like it's done by Blake Stewart at
No,
Stewart Design.
I had my tattoo artist do it for me because she knows me really well. So, but I do need to have it redone so it looks crisper and more professional. So I will probably be hitting them up for sure.
They're gonna
So
charge you a lot.
I
All they're
know, but it
doing
needs
is
help.
tracking
It
their
needs a little
finance.
help.
Okay. Well, I hope you'll get a call from Blake, but for now,
Big
Blake
fuck
Stewart
you.
gives you a giant fuck you.
That's
Have
all
you
right.
ever bought a snake from Justin?
Not yet.
I don't even have to tell you how
I
nice of
know.
a guy Justin is.
I
And he
know.
rarely gives people the middle finger, but Justin is fucking standing there giving you the big fuck you. But you use
Yes, I
Morph
know.
Market.
Morph Market? Yes, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, I
Okay.
like John.
To buy and sell?
Yes.
Okay. John Layman does not give you a fuck you.
Good.
Okay. Have you shipped with Redline shipping yet?
Not yet. I've been pretty loyal to Reptiles to you so far, but I haven't switched over yet.
I think you should text Robin and ask him because he could probably do something for you.
Yeah.
Robin, however, currently is standing there
Big
with two
fuck
middle
you.
fingers up at
I
Shannon and
know.
giving you a giant fuck you. All right. Now, what are you got to have eggs in the incubator right now, right?
Not right now, actually. My season started pretty early and ended pretty early. I've got a few that are pairings that could go, but I'm pretty much done for the season. So I had
Okay.
13 this year.
Okay. And is
Yeah.
that just 13 ball pythons or 13 clutches in general
Just
with
13 ball
everything you have?
python clutches. My other stuff isn't old enough yet to get to going yet.
Okay. And it looks like you're out there in the middle of nowhere. Do you have animals, like real animals?
Yes, I actually have a horse and stuff like that. I live in the country, so yeah.
And where is the truck right now?
In front of my house. I have plenty of space to park, probably 3 of them. So
That's fucking awesome.
yeah.
And so where is Shannon going in 2 years?
Mhm. Hopefully, a little further into the recessives, of course.
Okay.
But I've been told that I'm kind of crazy because I keep a lot of male DOMs and incomplete DOMs. So I like being able to pop those in wherever I want to.
Okay.
I think my goal for next year is probably Acid, Male Desert Ghost, and hopefully produce a visual Sentinel. So
I don't
small
even know
goals.
what that is. What
I
is
know.
Sentinel? Yeah.
Sentinel is like paint. It comes as like Het Sentinel, but when you get a super version, it's like paint. Basically, it's like Calico and Sugar. It's like paint and Sentinel.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm
And
sure
what's
somebody will argue with me, but that's okay.
yeah, no, it doesn't even I want to argue with you right now, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So what's your big projects for next year, let's just say, because you're already
Next
well,
year,
actually, yeah, no, because I want to talk about stuff that you actually have. So what
mhm.
were your bigger projects this year?
This year I did a lot of gravel spark and asphalt stuff. So I'm
Art.
holding back a lot of that. I like the Yellow Belly complex a lot. And I picked up some cool leopard stuff to pop into it and just kind of see
What
what happens there.
you trying to be McDougal with the fucking
No,
spark shit? Fucking that's
no, no, not trying to be anybody. I'm doing my own thing.
all right,
You
all
know,
right, all right.
I
Calm it
popped
down.
some Mystic in there. You got some cool stuff coming. So
All right, listen. You're at a 9 and I need you at about a 3. Okay. So fucking calm it down right now. Okay.
okay.
Now, now what are the big projects that you want to do in the future? Like, are you picking up any double recessives or any triple hets,
Um,
to attempt it?
I would like eventually to make like a Hypo Pompeii or um I'm really into pied, so I love special pied and I like to pop hypo in there. Um, I'm just kind of right now, I'm literally restructuring what I want to do. It feels like the first few years, I was just kind of like, okay, well, ooh, this looks good. You know, this is kind of a short-term goal that I had. And then I realized how fast you achieve those goals. So now I'm kind of going back through and restructuring what my longer term goals are with these projects.
I,
So
I mean, ugh, Hypo and Spark, you're really fucking crushing the white trash thing.
I
Okay.
know.
Fucking that's all I'm saying. Now,
Well, somebody else has to do it, you know. It can't just be Chris. So
that's right. Yeah, I have nothing here. Yeah. How could people get in touch with you?
I'm on Facebook the most. So Facebook, Morph Market, monitor those very closely. Instagram is probably a close second, and then TikTok. I post just to post videos. You know, nothing really super interactive there. So
It doesn't matter because you're out of fucking time. And you didn't even mention where on those platforms they could get in touch with you. So, because you're hot and you got giant boobs, I'm going to give you an extra couple of minutes and fucking tell people what the name is on all of those.
Shanz, Amaze, Ballz.
Okay. And on Facebook, though, you're Shannon Lentz, right?
I'm Shannon Lentz, and I also have a business page, Shanz Amaze Ballz. So I have my personal page as well as business.
Okay.
And I also run some groups myself that I've created that are literally no drama bullshit groups.
I don't even know. Yeah, I was going to ask, what groups do you run?
Amaze Balls, Ball Pythons, Pinstripe Love. I have a Blue Eyed Leucistic group, Woma Spider group. You know, and I'm just really careful about allowing people to be dramatic. You know, I'll boot them immediately. I don't deal with that crap. So.
Hold on, I got a phone call. Hello.
Yeah, nobody cares.
All right, I'll tell her. Okay, bye. Yeah, 2004 just called and said they want back their blue eyes and their fucking pinstripes.
I know. But there's not anywhere for anybody to show any love, so there is now.
You got like 10 fucking groups to show you love, all right?
Yeah, and now they can focus on it.
And quickly, how often do you get sent dick pics?
How often do I what?
How often do you get sent dick pics?
More often than I would like, to be honest.
Okay. Would you like just a little? How, like what's the percentage of
zero? Zero would be great. Yeah, if a girl wants to see that, she'll ask. I promise.
I don't know. I just,
Yeah, take a note. Write it down, Chris.
Listen, I just bulk email my dick pics, okay? So fucking
I get
30 or 40 at a time.
I gotcha.
Listen, Shannon, thank you so much for coming and putting up with my shit. I appreciate it. You are the last 15 minutes of the year. So I really think I mean, you're charming as fuck, right? So fucking people are gonna like you no matter what. So
well, they do or they don't, either way.
Well, I mean, you're a little mouthy. I could see how you could get a little annoying, but other than that, it's it's all right. You got giant boobs. It's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you for coming on.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna put you in the green room for 1 second. Just hang out, okay?
Okay.
All right, babe.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Batman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at sdidentity.com. Again, that's sdidentity.com. All right, I still have to read the Redline ad because I haven't memorized it yet. So we're excited to announce our new sponsor, Redline Shipping. Redline is the new kid on the shipping block, and yet the old kid on the shipping block, seeing as Redline founder Robin Markland co-founded Ship Your Reptiles in 2009 as well. 2009. Some of you fucking breeders were still shitting your pants back then. Robin is back, baby, with a powerhouse team, a modern website that's smooth, fast, and easy to use, and fantastic shipping discounts for all of your live reptile, aquatic, and invert shipping needs. You could ship your merchandise and other dry goods with Redline Shipping as well. Discounts are for all services. Overnight, second day, third day, ground. They cover it all. Redline Shipping offers on-time and live arrival insurance and world-class customer service. Partnered with Morph Market and NARBC, Redline Shipping is quickly becoming the industry fucking standard for shipping services. If you're getting a custom discount from one of the other shipping competitors, reach out to Redline and let them try and beat that discount to win your business and support. Head on over and say hello to Robin at the upcoming Phoenix Reptile Expo on November 19th and 20th. Use code ROBIN60 for 60% off of the FedEx retail rate on your first 2 shipments. See, it's right down here. And once you've used that coupon, how fucking cool is this? Use code FATMAN5 for an additional $5 off your already discounted price on another shipment. Get with the fucking program. Join Team Redline at redlineshipping.com. All right, so now we got an old friend of mine who's had a hell of a fucking 2022. I'm sitting down with Billy Rose of Mutation Creation, and we're going to talk about everything that he's been through in the last year, how he handled it, and what the future of Mutation Creation is going to look like. Here's my one-on-one with my old friend Billy Rose. And everybody, look who I have here for our last show of the year. I'm going to do something impossible. Okay, number one, we're going to keep this interview to under an hour. Okay, and number two, we're just gonna bullshit with each other. It's my old friend Billy Rose from Mutation Creation. What's up, brother?
Not much, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. This is the last show of the year, okay? And what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring on a guy that had a hell of a year and had great things happen to him and shitty things happen to him. And I'm not going to rehash all the fucking shit because everybody knows about it. But right off the bat, I want to ask you, what do you think the most positive thing that came out of this year for you was?
There's so many different things. I mean, one thing is nothing that I've done this year has stopped me from, continuing to want to do more. I've had a few people screw me over this year. I've had other things come up, and you know, at the beginning of the year, I don't know if you recall, but I took a break from social media a little.
Yeah, I
Hired a
remember that.
media
Yeah.
manager. I stopped doing it, and I still, unfortunately, haven't continued to do my podcast. I do want to start it up, but a lot of things were going on. In this industry, you'll find that especially being a bigger breeder, you have a lot of people fall through on sales. You'll have a lot of stuff, happen. You're always a target. And I find that I've been a target for a lot of things, in the past. And, you deal with it, you move forward. I don't hide from anything. I have people over to my facility and they can look around, and, I'm proud of what I have and what I do, and have an awesome staff, and it's a team, it's a family almost. But, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of things that I'm not doing right or good enough, like answering emails and getting back to people in a timely fashion. I'm not very good with my time management, but I don't know, man. I'm not answering the question really well, am I?
Well, no, it's actually a very shitty answer.
Yeah.
But fucking, I will clarify, because you are Canadian, so I understand that you have to do things twice. What surprised you this year, both good and bad, about the community? Because I have a feeling I know what the answer is.
Jesus.
But that's fucking funny. But yeah, like, did anything surprise you? But the real question is, like, you've been doing this for 20 years, right? So
Yeah.
does anything still surprise you about the industry, especially in the last 5, let's say?
Well, one thing that I've, for a positive note, I know that I think the community is more willing to share info, and it's a better community than it used to be. The thing is, I think it's very cliquey now. It's starting to be, there's several groups, and if you're not a part of this clique, you're sort of pushed aside, or
Right.
if you're not in a certain genetic, you're sort of like, you can't hang with these guys because these guys are into this, which I guess it's okay. But I mean, it's like, why do I have to, we all have the same sort of interest in these animals. Why do we have to be, segregated by the genes we work with? Or, oh, Tico, stop. Sorry, man. It's like,
Yeah, no problem.
so the community has, from, the 10 years or 15 years before it started getting better, a lot of lives, a lot of sharing info. Not all the info is great info, but people are sharing, helping people on the right road to, basically help somebody new do the right thing before they made the mistake, like we all do.
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes, and I'm still making mistakes in the industry, right? But you learn from them. You do something that's like, oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I lost the clutch, or oh, you're always something is gonna pop up. The one thing I noticed, that which is great about the people sharing and looking out for each other, is the scammers. I think the scammers that are coming out lately is massive. It's they're trying to sell racks, sell animals that aren't theirs. So people will always be posting like, hey, beware of this, beware of this. So
Right.
if somebody sees a scammer, it's being thrown out there right away. So
Right.
I think,
Right. And he's not able to rip somebody off for 30 grand like
you'd
they
hope
used
not.
to back in the day. Yeah.
But I think people got to sort of, do their own due diligence when they're buying an animal from somebody. Like, is it them? I get people calling me and saying, hey, Billy, I'm going to send that money today. I'm like, who are you? It's like, oh, we talked on Facebook last night. It wasn't me, man. I mean, all my sales go through Morph Market. So,
Right.
even some of my people on Patreon, if they want to buy an animal, I mean, I have them direct messages, but a lot of the time too, I'll get them to go to the ad on Morph Market, send me a message, and then we can converse through there. So that way I have an actual record of it and they know it's me.
Right.
And you know, I'll never cold call someone. It's like, hey man, how you doing? I got a special on these animals.
Right. Right.
No. And it's always the fucking high-end animals that they're trying to sell for a discount. Well,
Yeah.
you know
Always.
anything about this industry, you know, sunset clowns and fucking desert ghost pieds. You don't need to message and cold call people to get them to get a discount to have them buy. You just post it for fucking top dollar on Morph Market, and people will fight over it.
Right. Right.
You know?
No, that's exactly the way it is. And it's something you mentioned before that I want to just go back to is that you've made mistakes in the past and you've killed clutches. I've done the same thing. Right. And I don't think there's a substitute for the experience of that. Like you could watch however many YouTube videos that you want and seeing, a clutch go bad or a clutch rot over. But until you actually do it, I don't think you learn the lesson. You know,
I mean, there's different things that you'll do, because I always try to do things a little different. But I mean, I get a lot of hate from my YouTube. You know, I do Mail Mondays, like, why we want to see snakes? Why do you do this? Because I want to, because I'm shouting out people. It's what I do. Right?
Dude,
don't watch it. You know,
the 15 minutes of lane person for this episode. What it's Shanz Amaze Ballz.
Oh yeah.
She was the one that sent you 75 different stickers, all with different logos on it.
Yeah.
She was so happy when you shouted her out. She emailed me and was like, "Did you see Billy shouted me out?" This morning. I mean, I think that
it's easy to do, and I think it's amazing because I mean, I never got that opportunity back in the day. No one did actually. No one shouted. It was like, "Oh, this person's an asshole. Fuck off." That's all. That's their shout out. Stay away.
Well, that's the whole thing nowadays, right? Like everybody's fucking. The reality is everybody's sucking each other's dick and being like, "This person is amazing. I learned so much from that person." And as soon as somebody disagrees with them, they're shit on now.
Yeah.
And that's that toxic positivity, in the hobby. And I think it's really, especially now with kind of things slowing down a little bit, you're going to see a lot more of how it used to be. Where I mean, you remember fucking 10 years ago.
I'm hoping not. I mean, I don't think it'll ever be as bad as that. But I do. I think I said it about 5-6 months ago on a live or someone else's live. I'm like, I think that the community was growing and all positive, and then now you can sort of being twisted, going back the other way, where now it's like people are ganging up on each other, and you say something about one fucking breeder. There's 10 people that had shitty, dealings with them, and then 50 that didn't. Okay, but there's 10 people that had a shitty experience. I'm glad that there's 50 people that had a great experience. That's good. But there's still 10 fucking people that had a shitty one. You can't take that away from them.
Right.
No, you can't.
Of course not.
Now, if it's fucking 101, okay, well, let's get both sides of the story. But hey, man, like 100-1. But if it's like 50-10, that's 20 fucking %.
Right.
So it's like, hey, man, you can't take away. And I'm sure there's people out there that I pride myself on my customer service, and but obviously there's people out there that I'm not going to be that perfect sales, or something happened, or I didn't get back to them in time, or there's you can't make everybody fucking happy.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
That's the easiest way to throw everything away, is trying to make everybody happy, because you're never going to do it. I mean, it's like, I say it all the time on this podcast. I get 6 or 10 emails a week telling me to fucking go kill myself.
Oh yeah,
right. So
I mean, I don't get that many. I mean, you're always outnumbering me there, man. Like,
no, I got a lot.
But I just on YouTube, like some of the things where I do everything, where here it is. I don't really. Oh, this is a clutch. Oh, there's a moldy egg, or here's one that went bad, or here's one with that we're gonna cut. And there's a deformed snake, or it's dead in the egg. we fucking film it and post it. People are like, how come you have, what's going on with your clutch? How come two went moldy? I don't know. I mean, so I had 20 moldy eggs out of fucking 400. I don't know. I mean,
well, and I love when they start telling. I love when they start telling you what the problem is, because after all, they've been doing it for 2 or 3 years, right?
Weeks.
So they're like, listen, it's just so you know, your incubation is way off, and that's why you're getting moldy eggs or whatever. And you're just like, shut the fuck up.
I don't really know what the issue is, sometimes, because I have the same incubators running in the same room that I've used them for like 7 to 8 years. And, I'm doing 200 plus clutches. And yeah, I mean, the odd egg here and there, or I even have some eggs that go all bad. It's not the incubation. It's not the incubators. It's not the spike, because I don't have spikes, because I have a tracking of if there's a spike, or it's none of that. It's just they weren't meant to be. Not every egg laid is going to fucking hatch.
Yeah.
Even if they do have great, embryos and good veins, that some of them just aren't meant to be.
Are just going to go to shit, right?
But I know that, because guess what? It fucking happens. I've been doing this for 20 years, and it still happens to me. And I have everything dialed in, and I can dial it in more, and I'm going to, hopefully. But I know what I'm doing. I do it very well, and it still happens to me. So if you're out there thinking I can do it better, well, good. And if you can perfect it, let all of us know, because we haven't.
Right. Exactly. And everybody that's been doing it for 10 or 20 years, but like those people, I feel, have earned, the right to say something. If you've been keeping for a year or two, I don't really even think you have the right. Like, I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, but you learn from those people too. I mean,
well, very rarely, I would think, right? Like, when was the last time that a breeder that's been breeding for a year came up to you and said, "Oh, I do this," and Billy Rose was like, "Oh, I never thought of that." That is, that might. When was the last time that happened?
I get a lot of people asking me questions on stuff from my Patreon, from people messaging me. And, there's been a few where it's like, you know what? I've never experienced that in 20 years. You know what? That's a good fucking question. You know what? Let me try to find out. Because sometimes, people, and I used to be like that. I have these blinders put on, and this is my path, and that's the fucking only path I'm on. You just fucking do it. You don't listen to anyone else. You don't look. This is what all of a sudden it's like, well, you open up and take those blinders off. It's like, oh, look, like, oh, they do that differently. I wonder if it makes a big effect. And I would test it. It's funny, because back in 2000 and I think it was 18, maybe even 19, ARS, Brian Hahn, he came up and he was at the facility, and he's like, "Hey, Billy, I noticed on these 3 fucking hatchling racks, you got no fucking, you got no thermostats." And I touched the heat pads, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm running these 3 ambient and all the rest." And he goes, "Oh, so what was your comparison?" He goes, I didn't see any difference. So I ran 3. So 75 times 3 is 225. I ran 225 hatchlings right from the egg into ambient temp. And then right from there, when they grew up, I put them right into the adults. So I did that for like, a good year or 2. And then from there, I moved them, and then they went on heat after. But I didn't see any difference in feeding, in growth, or anything else compared to the other 2 racks beside it that were on heat.
Right.
And I like testing it, because you hear this now, and you hear a lot of people. I'll say Antoine from High Desert Pythons. He loves doing everything ambient. There's a lot of people doing ambient temp only. What way's better? What's the right way to do it? Well, I've done it both, and I haven't really found any difference. So I'm back to having, a hot spot and stuff, and I don't really run I have an ambient in my facility, but I also have hot spots, and my ambient's a little lower. When you're running all ambient, you got to be a little warmer, but you don't have the belly or the back heat. Right. I found no difference in growth and feeding and in anything, but I test it to find out. So,
well, the problem is, though, if you test it, it doesn't matter that you're showing people that it doesn't matter if it was ambient or a hotspot. What matters is if anything goes wrong and someone hears about it, they're like, "You're a fucking snake killer. You fucking, you fucked it up." Like they don't look at the reason behind the experiment, And I get that about people. I get that there's people that don't want to see an animal suffer at all. But the bottom line is fucking, in order to do something better, you have to figure out, you have to test different things. Otherwise, it
Correct.
would just stay the same,
It's
right?
an
And
experiment. Like you got to test the waters. And I believe that if I did that and for 2 months my animals weren't eating and they're fucking regurgitating or fucking dropping dead, I'd be like, okay, fuck the experiment. This
Right, right.
obviously ain't working. Fucking crank the heat back on.
Right.
But I like testing things. A few years ago, it's been 2 years now, I changed my method of breeding. I actually introduced the male earlier and after 3 millimeters, 30 millimeters or 3 centimeters, I stopped pairing. I used to get another lock in at, up to like 35 millimeters. And now instead of doing that last lock, I actually put a lock in one earlier. And I find that to be even better than I have the last 17 years of breeding. So I like changing things because I listen to what people are saying. And what are you doing? Oh, wow, that's interesting. And I try it. And now that I've tried it, I like it a lot better. Now I'm changing for the better.
Right.
Just like, doing the ambient,
Right.
Hey, Billy, can you do the ambient or what's better? I've done both. I prefer doing it this way. You talk to Antoine from High Desert Pythons, and he's going to say, hey, man, I've done it both ways. I prefer this way. He's also in a more humid, and he's out in California. I'm up here in fucking Canada.
Right.
So, what's the best bedding? Why don't you use it and see what you like better? Some people are allergic to shit, but they're still using it because big breeders use it. You're allergic to fucking shit. But the only reason you're using it is because this other big breeder uses it. Oh my God. Like start doing things for you and for your snakes, not because other people are doing it. Like same thing with breeding projects. Like, it's just, man.
Oh yeah. Well, have you noticed a big difference now in the business part of it, even with these younger people? Like we were talking, and we remembered, like, we would go out and buy. Let's say we had 30 grand, right? We would go out and buy 25 snakes, right? But now people are smarter, I think, than they were 5 years ago. And if they have 30 grand, they're going to go buy 3 snakes, right?
Yeah, or one. You know what I mean?
Or one.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's that's one of the positive things that I think that have happened, where people that are serious about it got a lot smarter about it.
Well, not only that, I think that, on my Patreon, I've had a lot of people that come in and I mean, there's some serious money spent, like, a good high, 5, 6, and even 7 figures. And, they're saying like, how do I do this? How do I make this work? Am I doing it right? And what's great is a lot of people are, but a lot of people are not still. Some people, and you just assume when someone's buying $10, $15, $20,000 snakes, you figure they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Not always.
Well,
that's scary. Hey,
one would hope.
this snake, this is 25 grand. I'm going to breed it to this one. Okay. You can never repeat the pairing and you're going to get a lot of white snakes. What do you mean? Well, you don't breed snakes together because of the cost of the snake.
Right.
Yeah, they're fucking them. Your collection's phenomenal. Like I would kill to have some of those animals, except you can never reproduce them. And if you do, you don't have anything to do it. You're going to have to go purchase, you don't have any guidance. And that's the thing. A lot of people that are joining Patreon or going out there and watching lives and getting a mentor or going to another breeder and asking the right questions and learning from podcasts and live streams and YouTube videos, they're learning before they get into it. So this is my plan, get females first and, try to do this and try to do that. So what we've sort of passed down and other people are sort of regurgitating it and doing it themselves and sharing, it saves people from going and, oh, well, fuck, I didn't know I bought 20 males and these 3 females. Oh, I did it wrong. Everyone's had that story. Hopefully in 10 years, that's not the story anymore, And what I always tell people, you want to be able to share your story and your experience with people, because people always message me like, yeah, I'm such a newbie. I got all these males and I know I've done it wrong. I'm like, dude, I did it too. It's like, you did? Well, fuck yeah. Like, who do you think taught me 20 years? There wasn't what we have now. So believe me,
not at all, right?
I've made more mistakes than a lot of people combined would make, and I'm sure some of the other large breeders made a lot of mistakes too. But guess what? Now we don't have to let people go through these mistakes by sharing some information, knowledge, and experience that we've had, so people don't have to go through the shit that we had to.
Right.
And I think it's better for the community. People are spending, a lot of people are spending money they can't really afford to spend in the hope of this. And it's good if you know what you're doing and you have the patience, and it might take, 2-3 years to do really well. This expectation of dumping everything and getting paid and making all this money in a year or so, it could happen. But realistically, with all the obstacles and the stuff that happens, you need a 3 to 5 year plan.
Right. And, minimum, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a mature collection. So if I go and buy a $40,000 or $30,000 male, I've got 6 to 8 females that are ready for him now.
Right.
So when I take that male and breed him, I'm tripling, quadrupling my money year one. Right. But I spent 2-3 years acquiring the animals so that when I do buy him, they work right away, and I recoup my cost, and I'm making and even duplicating that same animal and adding more genetics. Right. When you're just starting, you don't really have that unless you have an amazing year and you're crushing the odds and everything breeds and everything eats and there's no slugs and you get all the sexes you want, in the right ratio. And that always doesn't happen.
Right. Well, and what also doesn't happen, and I've said this a bunch of times before, the people coming into it, the majority of people have no idea how long 2 years is, right? Yes. They definitely have no idea how long 3 years is. So, yes. And proof positive of that is people that have came in during COVID are already out, and they're like, this is bullshit. Fucking, things didn't go my way, and the animal didn't either grow enough or eat enough or got sick, and it's like, you would think that by now people know if they're gonna get into this, that you have to get into it for the long haul, right? You can't get into it for short term.
Yeah, and the longer you do it, the more you're gonna reap the reward off of those investments.
Right. Right. If the animal doesn't die or fucking
and you hold stuff back and you keep adding other things to keep that project growing. I have animals that are from my very first piebald that I bought for like $13,500 in 2006 or 2007. I still have stock from those original. I mean, they're great grandsons of that male,
right.
And granddaughters, but they're here because of the lineage. So those are here because of money that I spent, 13, 14, 15 years ago, and I'm still making money. And that animal was paid off the very first year I bred him.
Right.
And 12 years later, I'm still making money. And everything they breed, I'm still making money off of that investment years and years ago.
Right. It's almost exponential, right? If you keep a snake for that long, because every year you're getting a couple more females and you're getting a couple, you hold those back and it goes. The other thing I think is that people that have 50 snakes, let's say, who aren't Mutation Creations, but they are, aspiring to make a business out of it. If you don't know how much it costs you to make one ball python or raise one ball python, then you're probably not cut out for this, right? Because it's you have to know that the bottom line is that a 8-gene animal costs as much to get up to speed as a 1 gene, as a normal. You know,
You still get the same amount of eggs, the same odds, everything else.
right?
Yeah, you need to know that. I mean, it's business. If you treat this hobby as a business, it will become a business. If you treat your business as a hobby, there's too many things you got to sort of know. You got to analyze. You got to forecast. You got to know numbers. You got to, it's, you can't just sit there and wing it.
Right. And what is some of the things that just came about, let's say since COVID, that you actually just hate seeing? Because there's a few things that I really like seeing, but there's more of them that I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot and fucking, you shouldn't be doing this.
Well, fuck, you open up to a lot. There's a lot. You probably have a few specific. So there's a few. I mean, not to knock people's Patreons. I mean, I don't know what everyone's is about. I'm on yours. I'm on Justin's. I'm on Will's, Royal Canadian Reptiles. Mine is set up to be a little different than I guess other people's. So, but I know other people that started a Patreon and they've only been breeding for a year. You know, but I don't know what they're trying to, I'm trying to let people know how to turn their industry or their hobby into a business, how to do what I've done. Because I think I'm pretty successful of what I've done. And I have a lot of things that I've done and it didn't work. And I've had to find a way because no one said, hey, Billy, here's an easier way to do it. Oh, fuck. Right. I had to, nope. Okay, check this next year. Oh, perfect. And I'm still fine tuning what I'm doing. I've done very well in the short period of time of where I am now from where I was even 5 years ago. I've learned the hard way, but I had no other way to learn. So I'm trying to teach people, if you want to take this to another level, I can help you. I can help you with things so you don't have to make mistakes. I look over people's over their collection. And I'm like, oh, no, too much of this. That's a white snake. No, and I try to guide them the same way I would look at my own collection because I've made a lot of those mistakes. And you get to breed once a year. And that 1 year, if you don't do something correct, you fall behind years, just like quickly. But I mean, I see a lot of people and their Patreons that they're charging for what? Like, I don't know. It could just be for a community. I don't know because I don't really have time to go look, but I charge for advice, but I got a lot of experience and I know I've helped many people and, I get messages going, hey, Billy, I listened to you. I did this and fuck, I made, I invested $47,000 from my wife's 401k. And within 1 year with your advice, I'm going to do 200 to 250,000 this year.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie. I know what I'm doing. I know, I can sort of see and I can say, hey, this is what you're going to do. And this is what I can forecast. I can sort of see what's going to happen. And, but if you don't put the work in, you don't pair at the right time. You're not feeding properly. Your animals aren't healthy. None of this is going to fucking work.
Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes and the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every focus cubed habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage their Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fatman told you to drop them a line. Right. And what do you think, like, you've been doing this a long time, right? So have you noticed in the last maybe 5 to 8 years when people are coming into the hobby and they're like, yeah, I just invested my wife's $47,000. You could pretty much tell by now, just from the personality of the person, right? Like, you'd be like, yeah, well, I probably wouldn't have did that if I was you, because you're probably going to be gone in a year or two, you know? And I feel like, knowing what I know now, when someone comes up to me, I could tell just from a 5-minute conversation if they're going to be around, you know, for 3 or 5 years. And I could definitely tell the people that are only going to be doing it for a year also. And do you find that's true?
Yeah, to some extent. So, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't take the plunge, invest, you know, but I also, when I knew what I was doing and I had some sort of grasp. So when I really started investing money, I was probably, 10 years in. The first 6 years, fucking traumatizing, animals not breeding, animals that I was getting wouldn't eat and die 3 months later. Oh, this is ticks, that's mites, that's scale rot. Oh fuck, I'm learning real quick.
Right.
And we had a small circle. It wasn't like I was importing, 20 years ago. It was all local. So you were getting the shit that they didn't want.
Right.
Here's my shittiest animal. When you bought a proven breeder, it wasn't the 6, 8, 10 eggers. It was the 3 or the one that went out every year. Oh, I don't need this one because it does nothing for me. Let's sell it to this fucking asshole.
Right.
And that's what you would get. But that's all there was. There wasn't like this big pool of animals or morph market where you could go on and just get an animal shipped to you, within the month. It was crazy. Even CITES. When I bought my first animals off of Aussie and the Snake Keeper and stuff like that, I mean, I'd put a deposit down and they would hope to get their CITES paperwork within 6 months.
Right. I remember. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it came in. And it's like, you made payments, make your final payment. And then they would ship it to the airport. You'd have to go claim, go in and
you have to go pick it up at Delta. Yeah.
Pick it up and claim customs and do what you had to do. And that's what it was. So I really think that now, knowing what I did and I invested time with knowing the patients, how long it took to get clutches and the eggs and then getting the babies feeding and that whole experience. It's like, okay, now I got it. Year 9, year 10, I get it. Made a lot of mistakes, but now I'm seeing clutches happen. I'm seeing babies roll out. I love it. Let's do this some more. Let me invest a little bit of money.
Right.
Ever since that, 2009, I've never looked back. Now I have hundreds and hundreds of thousands a year. It's if you know what you're doing and you've had clutches and you see that it takes time, not only having clutches, this is what people don't realize. Buying an animal, feeding an animal, cleaning the animal, pairing it, getting the hatchlings, that's the fucking easy part.
Yeah.
Now you have them. Have you branded yourself? Do people know who the fuck you are? Do you have a business? Do you have a wholesaler? Do you have a morph market account? Do you have a way to sell these animals? Are you set up to do a local show? Because you produce the stuff. It's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Oh, no one knows who I am. How do I sell these things?
Right.
Well, that's part of fucking business.
Right.
You don't open up a fucking store and fill it with fucking with inventory and don't have salespeople and cash and tellers and no one can come in the building. That's stupid. You gotta treat it as a business. So you gotta find a way, and don't people do this all the time. Oh, I'll get a name. I'll brand myself once I start making animals. Oh, I'll figure out how to email or how to sell them once I have the animals. That's the most stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Well,
but also at the same time, I mean, nothing pisses me off harder, than when I see a guy look at my shitty logo, and they're 2 years out from having their first clutch.
Yeah, I know you've said that before, but I mean, and us sticker girls,
Yeah.
but the thing is guess what? It gives you momentum, and yeah, there are a lot of people that just go and they don't have the money, they just have the dream. And
Right.
if you don't have a dream, what the fuck are you chasing? You got to have something. You got to have something to inspire you to light the fucking candle under your ass to work towards it. So if you want to be a ball python breeder, cool. You make a logo, or you get your shitty tattoo artist to make one, or you have an amazing tattoo artist, and you spend it and you make a logo. Some are great, some are, like you said, shitty.
Right.
And the thing is, even some of the names that people have, it's great for a hobby, but it might not be for $1 million business.
Right. Well, that's what I always think when I see grab your balls pythons and fucking suck my ball pythons. Like these are people that went out and
I love it. I think it's great for our industry, like for the hobbyist. Hey man, all that, it's great. But I think if you want to turn that to the next level, my kids and other kids and other people, you're not going to be typing in, or I won't allow them to go to a fucking website called suckmyballs.com. Like it ain't happening. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to think about that. And that's part of planning your business. I'm sure like Nike and Adidas, they had it, not like, they had an idea, a brand, you need to do things from the start all the way to the end. You get people not planning where, hey, Billy, I had like 10 clutches. So I got like 60 animals and I don't have a rack. And, this was best, a lot happened during the COVID. Oh my God, I try to order a rack and they're 6 months out and like my clutches are due in fucking 2 weeks. Well, you didn't fucking plan that. Like that's the thing. You need to plan from start to finish. But the hard part is getting those animals out, feeding them. Okay. Learning to assist feed if you have to, then selling them, marketing yourself, getting an account on Morph Market, learning how to take photos, putting those photos out there and having hundreds and hundreds of fucking emails and dealing with those people. That's the hard part is the back end, not the stuff that's the easy and the good part, because that's the fun part is breeding, seeing the animals, feeding them.
Right.
The hard part is fucking dealing with the consumer.
Well, and the reality too is that these are dumb fucking animals. Like you put a male and a female in a cage, they're gonna fuck and they're gonna fucking have eggs, right? So the one thing that kind of made me think about all this is, do you ever watch that guy Brian Sampson Snakeatorium?
I've seen a few of his shows.
I really like him. I mean he's a good friend of mine. He's he's smart, he's fucking level-headed, but he has this wall behind him that's just full of stickers, right? There's probably 500 stickers on the wall. Probably looks like your ceiling, right?
My old ceiling. Now I have
your old ceiling, right? Okay. That's your competition, okay? So you're already entering it, and probably that's not a tenth of all the ball python breeders out there, right? So that's the market that you're going into. And if you're not going to do something to make you stand out from all of those 500 fucking stickers, what are you even doing this for? If you're going out and pairing bananas and spiders and pinstripes still, you know, you're not gonna rise above those 500 people
Right.
on the sticker wall over there.
You're
So
probably going to stand with about 400 of them breeding the same shit.
right.
And
Well, yes.
That's part of the business plan. What am I doing? Where am I going? What am I going to produce? And where do I want to be in the market?
Right.
If you go into any business and you don't know where your place is in the market, you're an idiot. You shouldn't be in business. You know, if you have low end shoes, because you produce low end shoes, low quality fucking shoes, you can't be going in and selling them on fucking Fifth Avenue, New York, or what is that? Hollywood? No, in Hollywood. What's that?
Right.
Place? You know, with
Hollywood Boulevard. Yeah.
the Chanel, Prada, and fucking
Right.
$2. You can't. You got to know your place. So if you go on Morph Market right now and you type in piebald, just piebald, I don't know, there's probably fucking 3,000 of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Type in, Ultramel pied, there might be 50. Type in Desert Ghost pied, there might be 5. What the fuck do you want to produce, and what are you throwing into the current market? Because if this is what there is now, it's going to be more fucking down the road.
Oh yeah.
You got a plan of what you want to do, what you want to have. But the thing is, what people suffer from is the dollar value. Everybody wants Pompeys. Everybody wants the best fucking snakes. Everybody wants monsoons. Problem is, they don't have 20, 30 fucking thousand. That's just reality. Plus, even if everybody did have 20 or 30 fucking thousand, guess what? There isn't that many fucking animals available, even if you had the money.
Right.
And that's what substantiates the business.
Well, it's similar. Yeah. I mean, it's similar to when I was in a band, right? And we had a record deal, and we got our CD into Tower Records, right? And we thought that we arrived, like fucking, and our agent looks at us and he's like, "What the fuck are you so happy about?" And we're like, "Oh, we're in Tower Records." And he's like, "Yeah, great. Now somebody has to go and specifically look for you in a bin of 20,000 other people."
100%.
It's
but like logic, but people don't grasp it. They think about ball python, snakes, happy hobby, and they don't treat it like a business. They don't throw marketing at it. They don't throw, forecasting, expectation. They don't like, and the thing is that Justin's the king of it. Like future, he breeds for the future. He holds back and buys and creates for the future. And then when that future comes, if it's not the right direction he wanted, he changes it up and takes it to a different direction to get where he wants to go. But I mean, we're making triples and quad heads and stuff. It's not because, that's the thing that sells, because we're not selling it. It's so that we can make the thing in the future.
Right.
It's not something you get into and you're going to get rich, the same year. You're into it for 10 years. You know what you're doing. You can do very, 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 very well.
Right. And that's the people who I like having on the show and who I like listening to. People that have been doing it for 2-3 years, that there's a reason that I only give them 15 minutes, right? Because fucking they don't have 2 hours worth of shit to talk about. And
we do, but it's just not fucking, up to Chris Eaton standards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying they can't talk for 2 hours, because some of them fucking can.
I mean, I can talk for hours and hours, but how much good, out of the 8-hour podcast that I've done a few of those in 4 hours. Right. How much great info was really in that 8 hours? Like, come on now. But
11 minutes, right?
Yeah. I just love talking about snakes and shooting the shit, laughing, being an idiot, and it's just how it is, man. It's like when you go to you go to a show and you hang out people, or you go to the bar at the end of the week. Hey man, what happened? You're just fucking this and this chick and all this guy here, and you just talk a bunch of nonsense. But
right.
You get caught up.
Well, that and my show is not you're going to learn something about ball python show, right? Okay, there's 20
you're
other
gonna learn a few things. You're going to learn what not to say, what Chris really fucking, what he really loves.
Don't call anybody a cunt. Yeah, fucking don't talk about titties. Yeah, fucking it's this is what it is.
You better have a tablecloth at your fucking show on your table. to
Well,
hold your belly cups.
but again,
Come on.
this is just fucking. The shit I talk about is literally basic shit that everybody should be doing.
Yeah,
Yet, I'll go to a local show and
it's
there'll
still the
be a
same
fucking
thing.
crappy, fucked up wooden table with fucking animals and cake pans.
Yep.
And you just look at them and you're like, man, like you can't be making money at this show. And the only way you're going to be making money at that show is from other idiots that think that this presentation is okay. You,
Yep.
you know, like uh, speaking of like Canada people, like Marcus Jane, fucking his presentation.
It's
It looks like he makes
one.
$20 million a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the CRBE, I don't know. I don't think we do it anymore. I don't know when they stopped, but they used to have the like best booth, best vendor.
right.
Booth. I think he won like every single year it was on. You
Dude,
know,
he used to put rugs and pads down in front of his table so that people were more comfortable there and they could stay at the table longer and look at the animals.
and it's always changed. Like that's something. I mean, I try to change here and there, but to me, it's like fuck. It's 1 or 2 days. Here's what you get.
Right,
Hopefully
right.
my animals stand out, and
Right.
me talking and fucking moving my hands around. Hopefully that helps else. But yeah, you went and looked, and it was different colors, different setup, and I mean, he won, like I said, every single year.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else won, but it was always him because he put the time and effort in, and I mean, it definitely shows.
Well, and it's that fake it till you make it thing, right? Like that's what people should be doing. Look like $1 million, even if you have, only $8,000 worth of animals at your table.
Yeah,
If you look like, a
presentation
$2
is
million
key
dollar
in everything.
company, yeah,
We actually had a show, a few, I think about it last year, and there was a lot of COVID restrictions in place.
Mm.
6 feet, you couldn't do this. At the same time, too, the I guess the SPCA or the pet police or whatever they want to call it, they were coming in to look at how we were displaying our animals. And oh, that animal is too big for that container, blah 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 blah. Well, one guy came over and says, "Hey Billy, do you have any of these other bigger containers that I have for sale?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." He goes, "Why?" He ends up bringing his animals because he didn't prepare. It's like anything else in business, you got to prepare. You're gonna do what you better have bags. So when you sell a snake out of a display case, you can put it in a bag to give to the customer. Don't expect
Right.
them to have it.
Yeah. Don't hand them the snake.
Take your sock off. You can put it in that. Then it'll be
Right.
fine in your sock until you get home. But he came and he had. Do you guys with your milk? I know up here we used to get milk in jugs and stuff and bags. But do you have?
You guys have bags of milk up there.
Yeah.
That's so fucking weird.
It is weird. But the cartons. So he had cartons of milk, like the 1 liter or the 500 milliliter cartons. He cut the little triangular top off, put the fucking animals in, and had like a fucking sandwich bag over the fucking top with an elastic band. And the fucking guy who ran the show, he's like, "I'm sorry, but you cannot have your animals in these fucking containers that are not even containers." You know what I mean? Like recycled shit on your table. I mean, we have to set some sort of standard here. But
Yeah.
what were you thinking? Like,
Well,
how did you get that many fucking? Were you robbing, going through people's recycling? Like, wow, it just
please.
drives me insane. I mean,
I used to walk around the White Plains show, and there'd be dudes with snakes in cake pans, like actual cake
metal
pans.
plants.
Not metal, but plastic. Like when you go to like a supermarket and you buy it, yeah, and the middle goes all the way down, and the snake has to be wrapped around the middle.
Oh my
And
god!
and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? And he goes, dude, I saved so much money on displays.
Oh my god!
He goes, I go to a restaurant supply place, and I just get these cake pans.
Oh,
And I'm like, how do you lock them in? Number one. And number two, I bet you won't make any money today. And I was wrong. The dude made like $11 by selling off the extra cake pans that he had. He didn't sell one animal, but some other moron bought the rest of the cake pans that weren't used yet.
wow!
And it was just so fucking ridiculous. And that's why I say things like having bags for fucking customers to put their snakes in is not something that that Elon Musk has to think about and fucking it's not an
Not rocket
Elon
science.
Musk level idea. It's a common sense fucking and to this day fucking people still fucking don't do that. And those are definitely the people that aren't going to be here too long. But everybody that I've seen, like we spent $5,000 on our displays before we even did our first show.
You know what?
And
I met you before. You don't even realize that.
no, I don't remember that. Where did we meet at White Plains?
No.
Where did we meet?
2016, Tinley, October.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Eyeball. You still had Eyeball then.
Right.
And you actually had Mr. fucking Stranger in the building at your booth.
Yeah. Yeah. He was our special guest. Yeah.
Correct. And because I'm sitting there going back to some of my pictures in Tinley, and I'm like, holy fuck. Yeah. So I met you in person. I actually think I even talked to you.
Shit, I don't remember. That's where we announced this dumb show. We had a big banner with Snakes and a Fatman on it.
Yeah.
And
I just going through some old pictures and shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, I've met you before. Yeah. And Roland was there, and I got the pictures of you guys and Eyeball and Roland because the Stranger. I talked to you and Roland for a little bit.
His wife was there too. I mean, they came into America. They came to our facility. That was a great fucking trip. That's fucking
2016.
funny, man.
I actually met you. I was like, what the fuck? I've met Chris before. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's amazing how 7 years. Because when I walked around, I had my Mutation Creation, like the one Eyeball logo, and we walked around, and of course, I was dealing with Justin and Ozzy. Brian Barczyk was there. I've met him and knew him because he would come to our expos. 2012, 2013. Brock Wagner. Brad Boa, because I bought animals from them. First time I walked by Kyle Hoffman, he's like, "Oh, you're that dude from Canada." Yeah. And he was really young back then.
Right.
And some people noticed that. Oh yeah, Mutation Creation, because my YouTube was just kicking off. And in 2016 and 15, I wasn't like I am now. But it just goes to show you how, 7 years ago, walking around with my shirt compared to if I walk around with a shirt now, I couldn't walk 2 feet without someone saying, "Hey, Billy."
Right.
Hey. So, us big breeders fucking had this. We worked for it. I mean, it everything that we have, it just didn't come overnight, or we just didn't buy it. Like we've worked for. We've put it fucking. I mean, I could have said, if I was there now with my logo and I came up to you at your booth, "Hey, Billy," everyone knows who I am. We met back then, and I just realized it now, and I've been following you for a long time.
Well, that's actually fucking awesome, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Fucking, and the thing that I realized, because we were nowhere near like a Justin or a Brock Wagner or anything back then. But people did know who we are because we did have a nice setup. I think we had 3 tables, and we had a good setup. But nobody gave a fuck, about us. And the difference between going there in like 2016, like you said, and going to an Arlington show in 2022, last month, was a world of difference. Like fucking, people were coming up to me. People like, I took 200 pictures with fucking people, and everybody knew who I was. And that shit did not happen overnight. I mean, this is 6 or 7 years of work just on this podcast. Like an Eyeballs 100%. Was 5 or 6 years, just getting up to Tinley.
So these people got to realize, whether you want to be known, whether you want to be, your animals, you got to put the time in. And if it doesn't come easy, I mean, I've had hiccups up and down, but it's always in an uphill. I might go up and down, but I'm not fucking diving this way.
Right.
So it takes time. And you know what? Yeah, you spent a lot of money on this project. Oh, I missed this year. Oh, she didn't go. Fuck. Like there's another year and another year and another year. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize. Like, oh, I only have 500 followers. Well, I had 500 followers once. Actually, I had it twice because I had to start the fuck over.
Right, you had to start over again. Yeah.
Actually had it twice. I know it takes time, people.
Right.
Projects, the money, your business, your branding, your I guess your followers, everything is going to take time to build. But if it gets built slow and strong, it's the best way to do it.
Right.
It takes time. Like in the last 7 years, where I was from 7 years ago to now, everything is in a way bigger positive. Everything, my followers, my popularity, or what not popular, but my I walked around a show and maybe 20, 30 people know me. Now I walk around a show, pretty much, be 20 or 30 people in that entire show that, I don't know them.
Right.
The difference, right? Where there's thousands. So it takes time and it takes work, and don't give up. I mean, but going back to that question about, spending money, if you don't spend money, you won't make it. But you also got to spend your money wisely. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have some sort of experience, or, just don't spend money and think everything comes easy. It's, getting the money is probably the easiest part. Everything else is harder.
Right. Yeah, it's like you can't be in Entertainment 720. And if nobody knows the reference, that's from Parks and Rec, where these two guys started a business because they got, 700,000. And literally everybody that came into the door, they're like, hey, you're here? Free iPad, right? Like they would just blow their fucking money on stupid shit. And then at the end, when they lost it all, they're like, you got to spend money to make money. And we definitely spent it, and I don't know what went wrong. You can't be doing shit like that.
You got to have a path. You got to have a plan, business from day one to the end. Like it's not easy. And I'm still learning. I'm pretty good at it, but you can't just go in and, but I'll tell you one thing, when you do know, and you believe in yourself, and you love what you do, and you have, some sort of, experience, and you feel comfortable with it. If you have a plan, and it's a good one, and it's one that you continue, and I use over every single pairing or every single, gene that I get into, the more I spend, the more I make, and I've never lost $1.
But you also you think it through before you drop $100,000 on a collection. And if it's not, if it doesn't fit your parameters, you just don't do it, because you're making more money now without doing that, and knowing that that's going to be a money loss. Like, people don't go into this to lose money.
Yeah, I see this all the time too, and believe me, I've done it too. I'm guilty. Holy shit, collection for sale. Oh my God, someone's selling their collection? Let me look at it. And you look at it, and there's 50 snakes. There's only 10 that you want, but let me buy the 50 and I'll sell the other 40.
Yep.
Wow, what a fucking waste.
Yeah.
Like, you spend more fucking time feeding and selling those other 40 and dealing with more shit on top of the shit you have now, making more work, dealing with more people. And it's like, wow, you know what? I should have just offered them the 10, or guess what? I could have just bought the fucking 10 and saved myself the headache.
Right.
Buy a collection. Make sure 70 or 80% of it is something you need. And then you have 10 or 20 that you can fucking move off if you want.
Right.
Don't do it the other way, because I'm guilty. It's not smart.
No, we were guilty of it too. And speaking of, a quick shameless plug, we just recorded an Eyeballs reunion last night that we're going to release in December, where we talk about literally everything that we did wrong, in hopes of fucking showing people that wasn't the way to go, So, because the other two guys have newer companies that are killing it right now.
Yeah.
So, but I think that you have to go through that eyeballs phase and do things wrong before you could come out of it, having a clear mind and a clear, plan on what to go ahead is.
Yeah, a lot of people won't know what failure is, or a lot of failure. Right now, I mean, I don't think I'd be so helpful if I didn't fail so much.
Right.
If I just had everything, here you go. Oh, do this. Oh, I had join a Patreon. Oh my God. Fuck, I've never had to deal with half the shit that I had to deal with.
Right.
The thing is some people don't believe in Patreon, don't have the extra money, or whatever it is. I don't want to see people fail or feel what I had to go through, because I failed year after year after. I'm like, holy fuck! Like, I honestly don't know how I even made it to keep going. I don't know what drove me, because it wasn't like there was social media. It was go to King Snake. I go on to King Snake and you just see people get their asses fucking handed to them, and we're afraid to put a question on. And
Fauna Classified, same thing,
Fauna Classified. And
you put an ad on King Snake and you check it 10 minutes later and it's 70 entries down because dudes are just repeating old ads and fucking putting up new shit.
Yep.
It was the worst. I don't think the people nowadays, even though we talk about it a lot, they have no idea how good they have it.
Oh my God,
right
yeah.
now.
And the thing is I don't want to see people fail. And I see people are making the common mistakes, or I'll look at their thing and say, hey, listen, this isn't, you need to fix this. And a lot of people think is, oh, well, yeah, I know it's not great, but I'm going to go spend $4,000 on this other male. Okay, adding more money to more snakes, that doesn't fucking put out the fire. You need to put out the fire and then start a new one and have it contained. And then if you want it bigger, then you add more to it, but then you also make the containment bigger to hold the fire. People are just throwing money and they don't have it, and it's not going to fix the fucking problem. You have 4 fucking males that all have the same genes. Why have 4? Oh, well, because I got it free with the females that I bought. Okay, well, you're never going to breed it. You got 5 of them. Sell them.
Right.
It's costing you food.
Right. You basically bought pets, that you're never going to fucking use.
Why do you think that guy threw it in or gave you a fucking hell of a deal for $100? Because you saved him fucking, $250 a year in feeding it.
Right. Of course.
You did him a favor. If you said, hey, man, you know what? You give me 100 and take it, he probably would have done that too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's, I'm a big proponent of the phrase, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Right. So fucking, if you hang out with these other degenerates that are buying 20 males at a time to 5 females or whatever, that's going to be your future. Your future is going to be that idiotic kind of way of doing things. And the successful people that I know, they all tell me like one similar thing. They're like, listen, I'm successful now, but I have failed way more than I've been successful in life, and I think that you have to go through that in order to be a good, a good business owner and a profitable business owner, right? Because I mean, you didn't just decide to start, doing snakes and within 2 years made $100,000 and decided to quit your day job or anything like that, right? Like how many times, how many times did you want to quit in the last 20 years doing this?
Well, when I started making good money, it was probably like 10, 11 years ago, maybe 12. But the thing is, what people don't realize is, if you do this as a business, so most people are in the growing phase. You have animals, you hold stuff back, you sell off animals, buy more to keep growing your collection. As soon as you take money and put it in your income to pay yourself, now it's less money to put in. You probably,
right off the bat.
You probably have to sell more animals instead of holding them back. You're going to see your growth stint. Like it's going to slow down, and it's going to affect you down the road. So, I started doing this full time in 2020, where I gave up, and this is the only thing I've done. The year before, I was able to, reinvest $750,000 in animals and stuff, and grow. Last year it was a lot less, because I'm paying myself big money. So whatever I'm paying myself is coming out of the business to make it better and stronger in the future. So think about it. If you want to pay yourself, say $50,000 US a year, do you know what that 50,000 is can do for you in buying animals, and see where that's going to lead you in 2 and 3 years, what you can make, what you can produce, how much more money that 50,000 will turn
Right.
into year 4, year 5. So if you take $50,000 out, in year 3, it's probably 150,000. In year 4, it's probably 250,000 that you've lost because you've pulled 50,000 out. Now
Right.
do that every single year. You're losing a lot of fucking money.
Right.
So, you know, I had
It's a long game, right? I mean, the whole ball
100%.
python thing is a lot of people call it a pyramid scheme, but in reality, it really is a long game because the pyramid scheme really only relates to if you plan on getting a bunch of money real quick, and
Yeah.
very few people get that money really quick.
And the people that set themselves up to do that, they realize that, hey, it's a harder game.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather make an animal in 3 years that, you know, it's 20 grand and 7 people are fighting over to pay me than
Right.
making a bunch of shit for 2 grand that, you know, you got to now compete with 30 other people that have the same mentality as you. And okay, I'll do it 1,800. Oh, this guy just offered me for 16. Okay, I'll do 15. Like, it's
Right.
fucking,
Right.
that's the way it used to be. It's
Yeah.
not smart.
Yeah, it's a race to the bottom when you do it that way, you know? All right, well, speaking of the long game, where do you see Mutation Creation in 5 years? Because I know that we just went over an hour now, so I want to fucking wind it down, but I want to see where your plan is.
Okay, so obviously I'm you know, part owner of Husbandry Pro, so I've
Mhm.
started to diversify a little. I'm now the, I guess, North American distributor for cocoa, Go for Cocoa, the cocoa blocks that we use.
Man, you're really fucking taking a pot shot at all my sponsors, but okay, go
Oh, yeah,
ahead. Keep
sorry. I
going.
mean, yeah, I guess I
It's all
am.
good.
But hey,
Mm,
you asked. Remember, you asked.
Yeah, yeah, no, I did.
Shameless plugs.
Right.
So so now actually yesterday we just got back from the US agricultural department the thumbs up and the okay to get it now into the US. So now we're
Oh,
going to
okay.
be looking for distributors and bringing, you know, Go for Cocoa in the 2 different sizes into the US.
Mm,
So that's something I'm looking at as well. I was able to, me and a friend bought 40% of a RAF facility up here in Canada. That is, you know, something that I've always wanted to do. So,
mhm.
you know, but the person that we're in partners with, just, you know, taking it to another level, you know.
Right.
So I'm glad to be involved. I've learned a lot. So that's that. I've got you know, ownership in some ball python companies in the US.
Mhm.
I probably want to have maybe 2 or 3 more, so that you know, I can start you know, producing stuff with them in the US,
Right.
and that way I don't have to ship as much. Um, Here I have a couple.
Mhm.
I'm looking at you know, opening another one in Europe.
Okay.
So, I'll know that that should be done by the end of the year. So, instead of having my growth getting so big and needing 7 employees now and a 5,000 square foot building, now I'm sort of trying to stay, you know, small. And then now instead of holding 300 females back, I'll hold back, you know, 100 here, send 50 to this location, 50 to that location,
Right.
50 here, and you know, I don't make as much, but less work, less costs, and they require, you know, inquire the cost and the work, and then, you know, we split whatever's left after. So
Right.
I don't want to just be producing stuff that I want to grow and just sell because, oh, I don't have room for it. Oh, I can't keep this project, so let me sell it off. No, I
Right.
can still do it with someone else, help them. You know,
Right.
I invest my animals, they invest their time and space, and guess what? It's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
You
Do
know,
you ever see yourself pivoting completely away from ball pythons
never,
never? This is
never.
you're in it for the long run.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
right.
Um,
And
there's a few
uh,
other things on the table. It's
right.
just, it's there, but yeah, I mean, um, I've been, you know, doing high 6, 7 figures, and just keep reinvesting it. bigger,
Right.
bigger places, newer this, more animals, this. Now, I want to sort of, diversify. I'm a co-owner of an industrial building, that we bought earlier in the year for 1.3 million. So that's commercial real estate. We're looking at doing another building within the next year. So now I want to sort of get into the real estate. And when I did that, Ozzy, I even called Ozzy. I'm like, hey, I fucking finally did it, man. Because he's saying, Billy, man, you got to do this, man. You got to invest in property and real estate and have a different portfolio. And I'm like, nah, but I want to buy more snakes because snakes are cool. Yeah, and it's like, I finally got to the point where it's like, hey, man, I have enough. Like, how much more do I want to grow? Like, I don't want to keep growing. I don't want more headaches, more work. I want this to be fun, and I don't want to stress the team out going, hey, fuck, we got another 400 animals now. And it's like, Billy, man, I'm like, come on, I want new people to bring into the team and bigger buildings. So I was like, okay, well, now let's diversify. So let's get into this. And I called Ozzy. I'm like, I finally did it. And blah, blah, blah. And, it's great because I have a partner that I'm working with, and he's just awesome. And so, I'm branching off into different things, but, I'll never get out of ball pythons if I can invest in other things that's like industry related. It doesn't even have to be ball pythons, industry related. I'd like to get into the shipping game if I could, like somehow, just something that involves, what we do all around. I got into an app. I've got into the coconut. I've got into the rat facility, the ball pythons and whatever else. You never know.
Right. So just keeping the base in reptiles and making everything else reptile related.
Yeah, and I want to travel a little more. So that way, if I have, 3 or 4 places in the US, I can always go there. I want to do a lot more, vlogging and attending different shows. Now that COVID's done, I can travel now without being fully unvaccinated. So, I think my first trip is actually in 2 weeks from now. I'm going to go to Belgium for 5 days.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, there's a show out there, and I believe Justin's attending. So me and Justin will be, at Jean-Francois's table for the expo.
Right.
And after that, I'm going to go look at this facility that we want to, purchase. So,
Yeah, I met John Francois at Arlington.
Yes.
Oh, what a great fucking guy, man. He's fucking.
I've been a friend of his for many, many years, and he's just awesome all around. And he's a character.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking awesome dude, man. Not that you'll get back to him, but how could people get in touch with you?
That's nice. Not that you get back. Yeah. So the best way is through Instagram, or through for snake purchases. If you see a snake on Morph Market, message me through there. That's the best way.
Okay.
Instagram is I don't do Facebook, so people I get back to people on Facebook like 2-3 weeks later, like, hey, sorry, I just saw this. Like,
right.
I'm too busy to be on social media. I have a social media manager that handles my Instagram. She's awesome. She'll look at some of the stuff and have like a reply, like, hey, where do I send your shirts? What's your sizes? Auto reply, or hey, can you ID our snakes? And it's like, well, that's a service that we have on Patreon. If you want, here's the Patreon, thing. If there's stuff that I need to answer personally, she'll say, she'll save it, and then she'll say, hey, there's a few messages that need to be saved that I think you need to answer, or if they're personal. So I get through that they sort of remind me. But or the best thing is just call the shop, go on my website, or on Google, and just call me at the shop. We're usually there from like 9 to 3, 9 to 4 every day.
Okay. All right. Well, dude, fucking thank you for fucking taking the time, man. I appreciate it, man. This is we haven't had you on one of the video ones yet. So fucking and dude, I mean, when you show up to the Zoom calls, fucking people go crazy, man. It's either one of two.
Go on those when I can, right? It's just like,
it's either one of two responses. It's either like everybody gets quiet because they know there's a big dog in the room, or everybody starts fucking being annoying and asking you questions. But I appreciate whenever you pop in, man. Fucking,
Yeah,
it's
like I
very
said, I
cool.
love it. I mean, I was just like, funny thing is I was on someone else's live. They were just doing a live on Instagram, and I just wanted to look and see how many messages that I had because I'm waiting for someone to reply. And I go on, I'm like, oh, there's a live. Let me pop in. I popped in for 10 minutes before here, and they're just talking about stuff. And I like seeing that. Like, I mean, you might think, oh, these fucking people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, but I really like to see, people progress. And
Right.
you know what? I wish and I hope everybody does. But like you said, there's 500 stickers on a wall, and not many of them will be around in 2-3 years because they just don't have what it takes to run a business, or they didn't do it right, or they think that they don't need money, or they don't need experience, and all they need is money. It's a lot of things. And the longer you do this, the more you're going to know that I don't have this down pat. I'm still learning. There's things that I need to do better. My time management sucks ass. I need to get on that. And whose fault is that? Why am I so busy? Because I got more animals. I did this. I volunteered for that. I have to do this. Holy shit. So, I'll figure it out. And then at least I can share my experience with other people. Go, Billy, how the fuck do you do it? Well, I didn't for a while, but this is what I started to do. So, my experience will help them. Hopefully they don't have to go through what I do, but I'm constantly learning, and I just love what I do. And I'm glad I made all the mistakes that I had to get the knowledge I did, because if I waited for the knowledge to come to me, I wouldn't be here. Because, the mentality back then, even now, I want someone to teach me. I want someone to learn. No one's fucking hunting you down. You got to go fucking put the work in and find out the person you want to work with and see if they have time, or join a Patreon, or do what you have to do.
Right.
So a lot of people just, think that, they deserve it, or it's for them. It's not. Like, you got to hustle, grind. It's like anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is what happens when, when kids have been raised on getting participation trophies. It's what happens, man.
And it's sad because when the real world hits you in the face, you're gonna be shocked, and you're gonna look around for mommy and daddy, and they're not there. You gotta figure out what to do.
Yep.
It's sad. I mean, I get the mentality behind it, but where's the long-term life lessons in that?
Right.
There's none. Yeah, I understand. People get upset. Oh, they lost. They feel like losers. Well, but you are. That's what it is.
Right.
Be better so that you're not a fucking loser next time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And people have to accept that.
We just don't like another 2 hours, my friend.
No, I'm not. But fucking people have to understand that there's gonna be people that buy the fries at McDonald's, and there's gonna be people that serve the fries at McDonald's, right? So fucking you got to pick which one you want to be. Yep. And there's nothing holding you back from being the guy that buys instead of the guy that serves. So, I talk a lot of shit about loving to see people in this business fail, but I don't like it. I like seeing people fucking succeed. I like seeing people, fucking make money.
But it's inevitable. What you're saying, it's there because people don't have the drive or the want, or they're impatient. And you're talking to one impatient motherfucker right here. I am so impatient.
I got that.
I've learned a lot, and I've learned to be more patient, but I'm still impatient. That's something that, it's in you. You got to deal with it. I have ADHD, certain things. It's just, I had my own struggles that I've had to do on top of everything else. And I'm proud of myself in many ways, but if I can do it, there's so many, don't make excuses for yourself, because I didn't,
Yeah. Well, it's like Ozzy says, right? Just shut up and breathe.
Fucking shut up and breathe.
Yeah, just shut up and breathe.
No one fucking cares,
Yeah.
I have my own problems every day. I don't need to listen to yours, but I can help you with your problems if you want me to help, or, but I can only give you so much advice, and guidance. The rest is on you. If you don't feed them or breed them at the right time, you're not buying right stuff, you're not, doing proper, projects, the more money you throw at it, and the more breeding you do ain't going to fix it, because it's not right. It's broken.
And at the end of the day, then they wasted your time if they're not listening to you, right?
Yeah, and then guess what? Their sticker becomes obsolete. Like,
Right.
oh, whatever happened to that guy? I don't know. The same thing that happened to this guy, that guy, and this guy.
Right. Yeah.
So, but as far as like the logos go, yeah, you might have a shitty logo now, but invest time. Listen to what we're saying. Look at what the big breeders and big companies are doing with the logo. Short, simple, sweet, neat. One of the sponsors. One of your sponsors is Robert, the one that does Justin's.
Blake Stewart.
Blake
Yeah,
Stewart.
Stewart Design. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Same thing. Hire a professional. Hire someone that knows our industry. It's probably not cheap. It depends what it is, but you get what you pay for. And you're gonna go and do things, and it's like do things right from the beginning, and it'll be a lot less problems down the road. Because eventually you're going to have to change it. Now, years later, everybody knows your brand, that even if it's shitty, now you're changing. Oh, what happened? Like, do it right away.
Yeah. Be smart enough to know what you don't know and fucking hire people to do that. That's really the thing to do. Partner up with people to do that. I'm sure you didn't know anything about app design. And you were like, all right, I'm not going to do this myself. I'm going to hire a dude and fucking make it happen. And that just be smart enough to know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, all right, brother. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate all your time.
Yeah, man.
And
it's a blast.
Yeah, no, it's always fun fucking talking to you. And I think I'm going to include you on my No More Ballz tour in the morning, in the new year.
Cool.
So I want to come up there and I want to do the interview from the basketball court. And we don't look at one snake, okay?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the plan in the new year. So I'll be up there. Plus, I like gambling in Canada, so fucking
sick.
It's all good. All right, brother. I'm gonna put you in the green room for a minute, and then we'll come back. All right?
Perfect.
Thanks again. Mutation Creation, Billy Rose, everybody. Loving all my new sponsors. Loving all my listeners, watchers, and Patreon people, and loving that I get to look forward to another year in 2023 of doing this dumb, ridiculous, made-up job that you guys allow me to do, of just talking shit and laughing and hanging out with my friends. Don't forget to watch the debates featuring the 15 Minutes of Lane contestants on November 27th and December 11th on Fatman Live on YouTube. Oh, and we're actually dropping a bonus episode where we're doing an Eyeballs reunion on December 1st. I am now on vacation, and the next main show, Snakes and a Fat Man, will be out on January 1st with the winner of the 15 Minutes of Lane contest. But remember, I'm also dropping the All Hot Chick episode, Volume 4, on November 25th. We're dropping new Where Are They Nows every 10 days till the end of the year. And doing nothing on vacation really doesn't suit me, so I might throw in a Fat Man Live one Sunday night. Thank you for this last year. I honestly fucking just love all you guys for listening and watching. And I'll see you on the other side. Take it easy, guys. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Sea Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and a Fat Man. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you could be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to seaserpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks and tell Chris Nettles that the Fat Man sent you.